In this case, you're going to learn about a man who has been dubbed Britain's most evil by many. Levi Belfield is a man without a conscience or remorse, a man who managed to conduct his murderous activities while remaining undetected by the police. Throughout his crime spree, he acquired nicknames, including the Bus Stop Stalker, the Bus Stop Killer, and Fanned the Hammer Man. His victims are large in number, and nobody can be 100% sure how many people he targeted over the years. Levi Belfield, born on May 17, 1968 in London, had a troubled upbringing in southwest London. Raised with his siblings on a council estate, life was tough but stable. Early on, Belfield displayed a disturbing lack of respect for women, viewing them as mere objects for male gratification. His relationships were tumultuous, and he fathered 11 children with 5 different women. The story takes a dark turn on March 21, 2002, when 13-year-old Millie Dowler vanished on her way home from school in Walton-on-Thames, Surrey. Known for her strong-willed nature, Millie disappeared in a CCTV blind spot, a short distance along a busy road. Her sudden disappearance raised immediate concern among family and friends, as she was diligent about staying in touch. The police initiated a thorough search, deploying all available resources, but no leads emerged. Meanwhile, across town in West Drayton, Levi Belfield and his girlfriend Emma were house-sitting. On the day of Millie's disappearance, Belfield claimed to be away until 11 p.m., returning with takeaway for the couple. Despite their alibi, Belfield's late-night actions seemed peculiar. Around 3 in the morning, he left to return to the couple's apartment in Walton-on-Thames. Emma initially had no suspicions about Belfield's behavior, but things took a turn when she returned to their apartment. Despite the common difficulty people face in sleeping away from their own beds, Emma's unease grew. The apartment appeared immaculate upon her return, but her dog's supposed accident had led to the disposal of all bed covers. Belfield explained this, but Emma's concern deepened when she discovered her car missing. The same car he claimed to use for a late-night drink on the night he left the apartment at 3 a.m. Though Emma sought her car's return, it was never found. Despite suspicions of Belfield's possible involvement with another woman, she continued the relationship. The couple moved to Little Banty, West Drayton, where Belfield's peculiar habits, like inconsiderate parking, began to annoy neighbors. However, things escalated as he developed a hostile attitude towards an elderly couple on their street. He verbally abused them, and was even suspected of damaging their garden with weed killer, a particularly heartless act as gardening was the elderly man's passion. To further deter anyone from approaching his property, Belfield acquired unfriendly dogs and covered stolen fences with barbed wire. This behavior left the neighbors uneasy and highlighted a significant change in Belfield's demeanor. Now, with his garden looking more like a prisoner of war camp, people wondered what he was hiding. Levi and Emma's neighbor at the time also spoke of his concerns about their home life, saying,
"They played the part of a couple, happy couple and all that, but Emma's whole demeanor told a different picture." I think Emma was very fearful. I think Levi bullied her. She cried quite a lot. You know, a happy person doesn't do that. I don't know what he was trying to achieve. I don't know what he was hiding. But it was all very strange.
Belfield's mental state is highlighted no better than by comments of an ex-girlfriend. His mood swings were so unpredictable, he would go from loving and caring to aggressive and horrible in the blink of an eye. At mealtimes, I had to separate his foods. The potatoes would have to be separate from the carrots, and the meat wouldn't be allowed to touch anything else on the plate. He used to make me eat one of everything on his plate because he was convinced I was trying to poison him. Meanwhile, Millie Dowler was missing for 6 months. On September 18, 2002, mushroom pickers in Yateley Heath, Hampshire found a partly decomposed naked body, Millie's. Dental records confirmed her identity, though her belongings were missing. Police reclassified the case as murder, Operation Ruby. As they investigated, another murder occurred in Hampton, Middlesex. In Hampton on February 4, 2003, Marcia McDonnell, a 19-year-old student, was attacked after leaving a bus near her parents' home. She was carefree, walking in the cold night when suddenly, she was struck from behind, rendering her instantly unconscious. Despite ambulance intervention, Marcia succumbed to severe head injuries the next day. The search for the person responsible for attacking Marcia started right away. Luckily, buses in the UK have cameras, and that helped the police a little. As Marcia got off the bus, a silver Vauxhall Corsa was seen near the bus stop. The car followed Marcia as she walked away. It seemed like a good clue. But many people drive Vauxhall Corsas in the UK, so it wasn't very helpful. Also, the CCTV image wasn't clear enough to see the car's license plate. At the same time, a man named Levi Belfield had a new job working as a doorman at pubs and clubs. This job was perfect for him because he liked fighting and being aggressive. People who knew him said he loved violence and having big muscles because of his tough childhood. When he was a kid, he was weak and slept in his mother's bed until he was 16. He was bullied in school, and there was a rumor, unconfirmed, that he did something strange with his sister's rabbit. The police were now dealing with two separate cases. They hadn't found the person who killed Millie Dowler at the bus stop, and they had no clues. They were also looking for someone who attacked Marcia, but all they had was the silver Vauxhall Corsa, which wasn't very helpful. 2 years had passed since Millie's murder, and 1 year since Marcia's, but the police hadn't made much progress. On May 28, 2004, in Isleworth, Middlesex, not far from where Millie and Marcia were attacked, an 18-year-old student named Kate Sheedy was going home after a night out. Like Marcia, she took the bus and then walked on the street where she lived. A car drove past her, suddenly stopped, and pulled onto the sidewalk. Kate was smart and sensed danger. To be safe, she crossed the road, but the driver didn't like that. The car hit her, then backed up and ran over her again. Miraculously, she survived with severe injuries. As she recovered, she remembered the car, a white one with a broken wing mirror. Despite CCTV evidence, the police missed it due to an error, letting the driver, Belfield, escape attention. Belfield continued his disturbing actions. He confessed to abusing young girls in a club's upstairs room, sometimes taking them to his white car. 3 months after Kate's attack, another body, Amelie's, was found nearby. She was a 22-year-old student from France. Her death linked to Marcia McDonald's, both attacked similarly. Detective Sutton received the dreaded call about Amelie. The investigation now tied together the local murders. The assailant's pattern involved powerful blows to the back of the head, rendering the victims unconscious. The authorities missed a crucial chance to stop Belfield earlier. His unsettling activities escalated, leading to more victims. The nightmarish pattern of his crimes became clearer as the police connected the dots between Kate, Marcia, and Amelie. Belfield, operating under the radar, continued his violent spree. The community remained unaware of the danger lurking in their midst. The failure to act on earlier evidence allowed a predator to roam freely, claiming more innocent lives. The investigation faced setbacks, from administrative errors to oversight. The urgency to apprehend Belfield intensified as the body count rose. The community's safety hinged on the police solving the puzzle and putting an end to the terror Belfield inflicted on unsuspecting. Amelie went out at night with her friends and took a bus home. The police thought she might have fallen asleep on the bus and missed her stop. She asked the driver when the bus would go back the other way, and he said about 10 minutes. Instead of waiting, she decided to walk and took a shortcut across a field. During her walk, a killer attacked her on Twickenham Green. The police were investigating similar cases of unsolved murders in the area, like Millie Dowler, Marcia McDonald, and Kate Sheedy, thinking they might be connected. While DCI Sutton was working on solving these cases, the killer, Belfield, started an illegal business clamping cars. He tricked people by advertising a fake brothel, clamped their cars when they went inside, and extorted money from them. Unknown to Belfield, DCI Sutton was making progress. He discovered that Amelie's phone was left on after her murder, moving from Twickenham Green to Walton-on-Thames in just 20 minutes. The police knew the killer had a vehicle, and after reviewing 2,000 hours of CCTV footage, they found a Ford van that appeared in both locations. The challenge was that Ford vans are very common in the UK, making it difficult to identify the specific vehicle. The police were on a mission to find a specific vehicle and driver involved in a crime. To speed up the process, they made a rare public appeal. A woman named Joanna Collins, who knew the suspect Levi Belfield from a past relationship, approached the police after the appeal. The police took her seriously because she had first-hand knowledge of Belfield, and she was the only lead they had. When Detective Chief Inspector DCI Sutton looked into Belfield's record, there wasn't anything major, but a past arrest involving a white Toyota Previa caught his attention. This matched the description of the vehicle they were looking for. Further investigation revealed Belfield also owned a silver Vauxhall Corsa. DCI Sutton felt they had enough to bring Belfield in for questioning. On November 20th, 2004, the police went to Belfield's home early in the morning to bring him in. Though he wasn't initially found, A sergeant, as a last resort, checked the attic and discovered Belfield attempting to hide. The arrest marked a turning point, as people who had been afraid to speak up began sharing information about Belfield's activities. Despite having numerous investigations open, evidence remained elusive. To connect Belfield to the crimes, the police needed a solid hypothesis. Joanna, the ex-girlfriend, played a crucial role as a witness. She shared her experience of living with Belfield, highlighting his pattern of violence, specifically how he would only hit her where bruises could be concealed. This information became valuable for the police trying to build a case against Belfield, who now faced multiple allegations ranging from assault to murder. The challenge, however, persisted. Gathering concrete evidence was proving to be difficult in the face of a notorious criminal. Whenever they drove down the street, she noticed he would say inappropriate things about schoolgirls walking by. He talked about women with a real dislike, thinking they were beneath him. He especially hated middle-class women, wanting to prove he was better than them, though he wasn't. His way of proving superiority in his mind involved degrading or even harming them. Levi Belfield faced formal charges on March 2, 2006. DCI Sutton, despite the seriousness of the case, felt satisfaction reading out the charges to Belfield. However, the remorseless Belfield showed no reaction, only uttering, "not guilty." In 2007, Belfield went on trial at the Old Bailey in London for the murders of Marcia McDonnell and Amelie Delagrange and the attempted murder of Kate Sheedy. Throughout, he appeared disinterested, often staring at the ceiling. He denied all charges, attempting to present himself as polite and harmless. Despite his efforts, the judge and jury were unsawed. On February 25, 2008, Belfield was found guilty on all counts, receiving a whole life term, ensuring he would never be released. He offered no explanation, showing no remorse, merely accepting the verdict. While this brought justice and closure for some victims, Millie Dowler's case remained unsolved. DCI Sutton, determined to uncover the truth, considered the numerous allegations against Belfield. In the case's conclusion, Sutton discovered that Belfield once lived near where Millie Dowler was last seen, 6 years after her murder. Finally, DCI Sutton believed they had a credible suspect. In February 2008, the police publicly said Levi Belfield was the main person they were looking at in Millie Dowler's case. They checked the security camera videos from 2002 again. Levi had left his girlfriend's house 20 minutes away from where Millie was last seen, saying he couldn't sleep. The security footage showed a red Daewoo Lexia, the same car as Belfield's girlfriend's, leaving the place where Millie was last seen. That car disappeared and was never found again. In May 2011, Levi Belfield went to trial for Millie Dowler's murder. His ex-girlfriend, Joanna Collins, and his recent girlfriend, Emma, testified. Emma spoke from behind a screen, but Joanna wanted to look at the man who had hurt her. This upset Belfield, realizing he didn't scare people anymore. The trial lasted 7 weeks, and Belfield was found guilty. As the verdict was read, he arrogantly yawned in court. Although there's no death penalty in the UK, Belfield got a severe punishment. He was sent to Wakefield Prison but later moved to HM Prison Frankland in northeast England. It's a strict place where inmates spend 23 hours in their cells. Even tough criminals fear it. In 2016, Belfield was attacked by another prisoner with a homemade knife. He complained that guards beat him up and let others harm him. Since being in prison, Belfield has confessed to more crimes, but people don't take him seriously. The prison he's in now, Frankland, is known for holding infamous criminals. Belfield complains about the conditions and says guards let others hurt him. Even though he's not facing the death penalty, life in prison seems like a harsh punishment for Levi Belfield. We cannot support such actions, but we'll let you decide what's right or wrong. Levi Belfield, a dangerous man, is no longer on the streets, making them safer. He will never harm anyone again, forced to live in constant fear. Our thoughts are with the victims: Millie Dowler, 13, Marcia McDonnell, 19, Amelie Delagrange, 22, and the survivor, Kate Sheedy, 18. These young women had bright futures. They were simply going about their lives. Levi Belfield, a controlling man, believed these women owed him something. Unfortunately, they crossed paths with him, leading to tragic consequences. We wish them peace. If you find this story compelling, please like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more shocking cases. Hit the notification bell to stay updated. Until next time, stay vigilant. Danger may be lurking.